much about comm studies. It was more like a general, like, just people talking to each other, I guess.
This class is freaking awesome. You learn how to deal with other cultures and work in groups.
I came into communication studies not really knowing what was in communication studies, but now I know from the presentations that there are a lot of areas like interpersonal communications and intercultural and so on.
Before taking this class, I really didn't know anything about communication studies. This is my first class that I've ever taken.
I liked how informative this class was, especially with the amount of information we were given, with all the theories all throughout the class, and it was really helpful.
Before I took this class, I wasn't aware that there was so much different theory behind communication studies. I thought it was all just, honestly, I really didn't have a preconceived idea of what it is, but it really put some structure behind it and showed me how much of a science that communication studies really is.
So I came into Foundations of Comm Theory knowing a lot about communication studies already, but this class furthered my knowledge. It also, got me interested in a lot of the group aspect of presenting and working together, and I think that you'll also like that too.
So when I started taking this class, I really had no idea when communication started being studied as a discipline. You kind of just assume people have been communicating forever, so they must have always studied it, right? But it's actually pretty new to actually study it in this academic way. And it was influenced by a lot of different social sciences.
I'm definitely going to tell others that this is a basic foundation class in order to learn about the theories, and once you get this class, it'll help you in your future classes.
I had no idea what comm theory was coming in, but now that I'm in it, I love it. It was a great learning experience. Great people, great discussions.
This was my first communications class and I've learned a ton. Thank you.
Group presentations were really helpful to learn your subject material and to hear how the other class viewed everything.
I liked how this class was like working together with everyone. You get to know people like individually, and then I think what I really liked was about the group presentation too, where we get to understand it in depth and like we listen to everybody else.
I liked all the small groups that we were able to work in because we were able to work with a bunch of different people and really get to know them on more of an intimate level than just lectures in class.
I really like the fact that we got to like do group presentations in the class and have us teach the content, because it really helped us have a better understanding of what we were learning.
My favorite part about this class was the way we had a lot of interactive group discussions and group presentations that allowed us to work with each other as a group and apply the communication theories that we learned in class.
So my favorite area of communication was probably like the small group one, and I really liked it because I thought like it was very applicable, especially when you're like a comm major. You do a lot of group projects, so I thought like how these theories like apply within like the groups that I'm working with.
I really liked everything we learned about media. I was in the group for media, so I got to present about that, and then the day without media really opened my eyes.
We're going to be able to use the theories and all the lectures that we learned in this class and apply it to social justice in order to be a voice for the people that like in our society don't have a voice.
So after all the theories that we learned, I learned a lot like how all these theories can be applied to social justice, like for instance like how to communicate within like cultures, within groups of people.
As we learned different theories throughout the class, we learned how to apply to social justice, and I thought that was really helpful because we could learn different views and different worldly views on how to actually apply social justice.
So even though we didn't directly go over gender communication, it was cool because we got to see it applied through all the different theories, especially with the reflections we did after each group project.
So for this class, we learned about 3 different research paradigms, and they were discovery, interpretive, and critical. And my personal favorite one was interpretive. I really like that one because it kind of involved like the polyvocal aspect to when you're doing research. So like there's not like one right answer, there's like multiple truths, which I find is like really helpful because I firmly believe that there's not just like one answer to different things, there's like multiple answers to it.
After this class I'll be an interpretive researcher because I want to take into account all the voices that can be talked about in certain issues.
Taking this class really opened my eyes to the different kinds of research you can implement with communication, and I just realized that I'm really interested in all 3 of the paradigms, and I'm going to apply those.
This class taught me a lot, from interpersonal communication to media communication theories. It was very thorough, but it also allowed me to learn the material, and I'll carry it with me throughout the rest of my college career and beyond.
I think this class was really beneficial for all of us, and even if you're not a communication major and you're just a human being, you communicate all the time, whether you realize it or not. So it's pretty helpful to be able to know what exactly you're doing and like what kind of messages you're sending out. So regardless of your background, where you're coming from, and what kind of knowledge you may or may not have of communication studies already, this class will benefit you.
Do you know what groupthink theory is? I do. I'm an expert now.